Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Sidetrack Sunday number 4 for the month of October. And it happens to be October the 23rd, 2022. Hey, hopefully everything is working. It's been a rough day, and I forgot to reset my modem earlier, so I'm hoping things are working. I guess we'll find out. I know one thing, and that is the fact that YouTube is playing its good old tricks and being laggy, so, it is what it is. Let's see here. I guess we'll go through and figure out who all is in the chat first. We've got Mr. Almar. We've got Roy Containerman68. We got David's Hobbies and Things in the house. We got Derailed Daryl. We've got Joe Raider in the Black Rock Central. We've got John Author. We've got John Pod. We've got Dwight Curley from the Curley Express. We've got Kyle Stevens in the house. We've got Ian from the Lehigh River Subdivision. We've got the Low Country Railroad here. We've got Martin Sersma. We've got Bernard from Mini Prince. It was great to meet you last weekend, sir. Mystic Railroad. I believe that's another John. I'm gonna try and get some names straightened out here. Pasa Bayou's in the house. I think that is Russell. Maybe, I don't know. Like I said, I'm terrible with names. Anyway, Ron Moen is here. John number 2 from the Schuylkill River Valley is in the house. Sparky 107, Steve 87 PSAP, Thomas Garassi, and Wig Wag Workshop. And I know that some folks popped in while I was reading off, so let me go back through here. Hey, Fred Wild is here. Grandpa Rails is in the house. Let's see. Did anybody else? Hey, Alan from the Mason-Dixon Railroad is here. Let's see. I think I've got everybody at the moment. There's 38 people here. That's cool. Yay. Oh man, like I said, it's been an interesting 24 hours. Let's just put it that way. Or actually less than that. Mainly just the day was just weird. So, anywho, let's see. Anybody else? Everybody's saying hi to everybody. That's good. Let's see. I'm gonna get back to the actual chat here. There we go. Maybe. No, Gus, I did not make it to York. I had thought about it. But I did not get a chance to do that this weekend. I had some other things going on, so I did not make it to York. It would have been nice to get there, but yeah, I just didn't get there this year, Gus. Yeah, unfortunately, it just wasn't in the cards. Let's see. Fred Wild is saying, "How's everybody doing tonight?" If I say hi to John, I'll be right half the time. You're right about that, Roy. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Manny Fernandez is in the house. Good evening. Let's see. Did anybody else sneak in here while I was trying to catch up on? I think John 2618 is here. Somewhere. There he is. Yep, I found him. Okay. James from the Dundas Junction Model Railroad. Welcome in. That would be James Galton. That would be one of the Build Crew 2.0, and eventually we'll be talking about 3.0, but not yet. We've gone there. There's some things going on with that. We'll discuss that at a later date. A much later date, actually. Let's see. Everybody is still saying hi to one another, so we'll just let it keep going while I sit here and just kind of veg for a moment. So for those that saw, actually, quite a few I know did, because there's been quite a few videos that put up. Hey, welcome aboard Trackside Mike. There's been quite a few there's been a few videos put up about the train show up at Timonium, that was last weekend. I will say this. It's not what it was the year before. And I have a feeling that that has to do a little bit with what's been going on with the economy here in the United States. But it is what it is. Like I said, normally both. Yeah, Sparky, where's Timonium? Yeah, you were there last weekend, buddy. Normally both the North Hall, the Central Hall, and the North, the Central, and the South Hall are all filled with vendors and modular railroads and so on and so forth. Namely, the North Hall is where all the railroads are. The South Hall is where all the vendors are. And this year they kind of intermixed the South Hall where they had some of the clubs, and then they also had some of the vendors mixed in. But yeah, it just seemed like it was a little. It seemed like it was a little light to me. I guess it's just because of the fact that I've been going there for quite some time, and it just, like I said, it just didn't seem like it was what it had been. So it is what it is, Hey, John Author, yeah, hated to miss Timonium. Yeah, I know that there was a few people that could not make it, and you know, and we'll have other meet and greets. We'll have some other stuff going on. Roy Eltham's in the house. So yeah, I mean, it was still a great time. Don't get me wrong. I just wish the show would have been a little bit bigger than what it, or would have been the way it had been instead of the way it was this past weekend. But it was still a great time. It was still a lot of fun. Mini Prince was busy at Timonium, so I didn't notice it was slow. Yeah, well, if you talk to Joe Rader, him and his buddy, they were, yeah, they said that was a really slow time over there. So, like I said, it is what it is. Hey, we still had a great time. We still had fun. And then, of course, the gang that came back here. Hey, Dwayne's Fork and Spoon. Welcome in, sir. Um, you know, it was still a bunch of fun. And then having the 11 or so folks that came back to my place after the fact, that was a great time. I mean, I really had no idea that we were going to hang out for as long as we did. And that was great, though. I mean, don't get me wrong. I wish we could have hung out longer, to be perfectly honest. But scheduling, it just wasn't going to work out that way. So, and I know a lot of, or not a lot, but I know a few folks, they had to get up early for other things the next day and so on and so forth. So, it worked out. It was great. We'll have to do it again. Absolutely, do it again. Once I figure or find out when next year's show is going to be, we'll have to see about doing that one. So anyway, hey, Split Rock's in the house. It was just like I said, it was a lot of fun. We had a great time. Alan is exhausted from walking around the show. Yeah, walk the show, and then the next day I go down to the museum and walk the museum. Whew, man. So, yeah, unfortunately, Rick's Railroad, you might be right, but I tell you the truth, the one that was there back in February of this year, it did fill all three halls. So I was kind of hoping it was going to be the same. And actually, the one last October did the same thing, even with folks having to be masked up and so on and so forth. But spam calls, I swear. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, that was a lot of fun. That was absolutely a blast. Like I said, I'm glad that folks came down I mean, obviously Sparky and Bernard were probably the two that came the furthest. They came down from Canada, so um, it was great. And then we had a lot of the locals. And what was really fascinating to me, I didn't realize it until uh, the next day, actually, when we all got back to my place, that a lot of us are within, with the exception of obviously Sparky and Bernard, but a lot of us that were here were within about 2 hours of each other. Anthony from the Georgia Sun Belt is about 2 hours south. Um, and Rodney's about an hour west, and then Ken Amos Jr. being 51, he's 45 minutes west of me. So, and then Joe Rader's right down the street, which I've got an update there. So, it was, like I said, and then of course Ron Montag and Allen, and even if he comes in tonight, if the plumber comes in, the plumber 33, and there he is. Speaking of the devil, hey Steve. Steve isn't that far away either. So it's like it would be, to go ahead and take a look at other people's railroads. It would be kind of neat to do something like that. But anyway, I don't know if anybody bought GG1s there. Who was that? Split Rock? Oh man. Anyway, but yeah, it was great. Hey, Chazco's in the house. So yeah, it was a great time. The plumber guy, the skateboard dude. I can't wait to see how that turns out. So there is an update. I actually finally did, and I don't think Joe's been in yet. But I actually did make it over to Joe Rader's house yesterday, and then after I got done at his house, he came over here. So because of the fact that he couldn't do it last weekend because he was working the show, we got together yesterday. So, and that was cool. So there is video coming up this week for that. And me working on the 7 passenger cars that Heath found for me. So, and Bernard is saying that the skateboard dude turned out pretty good. Okay. And Joe is in the house. I missed you, buddy. I didn't know you snuck in. You must have came in through the back door. Oh, but anyway, yeah, it was great to be able to catch up and see everybody and so on. And here comes the tree. What's going on, Rick? So anyway, that was the meet and greet. Like I said, there was a bunch of it. We had a great time, and I can't wait to do it again. Absolutely cannot wait to do it again. Georgia Sun Belt. Anthony, I was just talking about you too. All good things. All good things. Stormy Sky Rail Productions is in the house, and I thought I saw something about DES being in here too. Welcome aboard. So before I get too much further into this, and we're already 14 minutes in, or 10 minutes in, depending on how you want to look at it. The 500 subscriber contest. I want to apologize now for not having any type of a real update on that. What happened was there was some personal things, and then I got extremely busy. So the month of November, each episode that comes out, there is going to be an elimination round. And I'm going to be, and I haven't figured out how many it is yet, because I think I had 62 people sign up for it. I think what I might do is do a 10 elimination, another 10, and then another 10, and then the night of the live stream will be down to the final 12, to which obviously we're picking the top 5. So what'll happen is over the next few weeks, starting next week after Halloween or the week of Halloween. I am going to start doing the elimination. So each week we're gonna remove 10 people, and then we'll get down to the final 12 or so, and then we'll have the drawing for the winners will actually be live. So, and we've got a bot. Hopefully, somebody may have already gotten it. Good. I just went to try and get rid of it, and no dice. And of course, YouTube itself is being extremely slow. I'm going to. Sorry, folks. I got sidetracked. So, yeah, hold on a minute. I'm just waiting for YouTube itself to catch up to make sure that bot got taken care of. And of course, it's still taking its good old time catching up. Like I said, I got a feeling one of the mods may have already gotten it, but I just want to make sure that it's gone. It really stinks that frickin' they can't get to keep control of this garbage. Anyway. All right, so we got sidetracked right away. And I'm not sure if somebody actually did catch it or if. Yep, I think somebody did catch it. Okay, good. Yeah, I know. Sometimes you can catch them, sometimes you got. All right. Thanks, James. I appreciate that. I figured as much. I figured one of the mods may have gotten it. Now, of course, StreamYard is being slow. Anyway, back to the 500 subscriber contest. I said there was going to be so there's going to be a 3 elimination rounds, and then we'll get down to like the final 12 or so. And that will happen on the live stream of mine. That will happen. And of course, I probably should have had this written down ahead of time. And I didn't. I can't do anything easy. I got to do everything backwards and hard and everything else here. So, all right, John's got the 6th, Heath's got the 13th, Jason's got the 20th. So it would be my stream on the 27th. Will be the drawing for the 500 subscriber contest. Oh, Mom and Son's in the house. Welcome aboard. I think I do believe that Mom and Son Train Rail Fans is a fairly new subscriber of mine. Welcome in and welcome to the Sidetrack Sunday gang. We do this every week. Well, I don't, but the Sidetrack Sunday gang does. Next week, I believe, is going to be Rick the Trees week. No, I'm sorry. Next week. Yeah, Rick's got next weekend. Yeah, Rick's got next weekend. Thank you. I appreciate that. John, you got him. All right, cool. Or got it. Anyway, so that's going to be the 500 subscriber contest. That will, everybody that was signed up a couple months ago, like I said, there were 62 of you all together. I will make sure that before I actually start the eliminations, that I have everybody's name that was on that contest video. Of course, now that contest is closed. Unfortunately, folks that missed it. But the contest was closed, so I'll go back and I'll take a look and make sure that I have everybody's name in there, and then we'll start the eliminations, and then we'll get that taken care of because I am way behind on that. So that's basically where we are with those two things. Now, one thing I did want to do here, Thank you, John. I appreciate that. Um, and yeah, that's very true, John. That video that Split Rock put up was really cool. I like that. There's been I'm finally starting to get a little bit of a breather that I can go in and I can start looking and watching videos, because I haven't been able to do that for a while because work has just been absolutely ridiculous. But that's why they call it work. If it were easy, everybody would want to do it, right? Anyway, I did want to go over one more thing here, so I'm going to go into present mode. Hey, Anthony Dodge. Opa Dodge is in the house. Opa Dodge. Let's see. I'm going to do a screen share here a minute. And I'm going to know this is going to screw things up, but we're going to do it anyway. All right. So we're going to share, and then we're going to go back over here and hope that I don't screw things up too much. And of course, we go back into that. There we go. We'll just move that over there. Okay, so I got some pictures from down at the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad Museum. This is outside the Mount Clair station. Yeah, I know, Ron. That Rick's already up to 609. So, yeah, I know. Yeah, there won't be another contest for me until I hit 750. Anywho, so this was outside the station, and everybody wonders about, or I guess there's a little bit of a misnomer about the Mount Clair station. The roundhouse did not actually, or was not for locomotives originally. It was originally built to work on passenger cars. So that is a neat little tidbit of information that most folks probably don't know, is that the roundhouse was not built for locomotives. It was actually built for working on passenger cars. The next picture here is the excursion train that runs. I tried to get a couple pictures of the locomotive. It was as it was coming into the station on its first run of the day. It's a neat little excursion that doesn't take very long. Now, one of the things that I thought was interesting is this. That locomotive is a GP30. I didn't know that they still had GP30s running. So, but that was kind of neat to see. So that was one of the locomotives that was running the, or that was pulling or pushing the train, was that in a GP15. So it was, like I said, that was pretty cool. Yeah, GP30, nice. Yeah, I know. I looked at that. I'm like, yeah, that looks awfully familiar. I got one of those. Hey, Derek Alexander, welcome in. Stormy Sky Rail Productions, welcome aboard. I think I said hi to you earlier. If I didn't, I got you again. Yeah, so yeah, a running GP30. That was interesting. So yeah, and this one here hasn't been upgraded. This one here is still a 30. So this here is L1. I was out of the room for a second, which this is the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad Museum, Mount Clair Station. So this is the Chesapeake and Ohio L1. This is number 490. This had been sitting outside for some time. They brought it into the shop, which gets me to thinking that they're probably going to do a cosmetic restoration on this in the not too distant future. This is a huge locomotive. I can imagine that once they get it repainted, this thing is going to be awesome. So the Cumberland Railroad still runs. Cumberland Railroad still runs GP30s on their dinner train. Nice. Okay, I didn't know that. They have done some work on the L1 since I've saw. I didn't know that they had started work. I looked like they had like primer on the wheels. My Life's Tracks, welcome in. So yeah, I mean, hey, there's Ken Amos Ken Amos Jr. being 051. Welcome in. Thanks, Manny. I appreciate that. So yeah, number 490. I'd love to see them get this thing back up and running, because when you see what's coming next, I tell you what, the B&O Railroad Museum did a wonderful job with this next locomotive. Actually, not that. Let's move on. All right. I had to take a picture of this just because of what it was. I thought it was kind of fascinating. France had sent Baltimore a Freedom car from World War One, so that was unique. I didn't even think it would run on our rails over here, but somehow they got it in there. There's what I was talking about. This is absolutely insane. B&O number 51, the cosmetic restoration on this thing is absolutely spot on. This thing is ridiculous, the paint job that they put on this thing. What the heck did you do, Ken? Really? Oh, man. Yeah, the only one we're missing so far is Ron. I don't know where he's at. Yeah, this was just, pictures do not do this thing justice. The paint job on this thing, and even Ron, because Ron was went down with us. He was like, he says, that is absolutely amazing. They did a wonderful job with this thing. I mean, you can see reflections in this paint job. I mean, it's incredible. I mean, the lines are absolutely perfect. I hate to say that this thing probably looks better now than when it did when it came out of the factory, but it's probably pretty close. So anyway, yeah, beautiful wax job on that locomotive. You might be right, Steve. But I can just imagine if they get 490 redone, and having these two sitting next to each other is just going to be, you're not going to want to go anyplace else. Now, I know somebody had just said something about the Allegheny. Chain binder opened up when working on a skid steer and it hit me, hurts. Oh, geez, really? I'm sorry to hear that, Ken. Feel better, sir. The Allegheny, which I got pictures of that too. Yeah, like I said, this thing, unfortunately, this thing is in bad. I wouldn't say it's in bad. There's things that are in a lot worse shape than this, but it was a darn shame that this thing sat outside so long. I mean, it was about time that they brought it in. Now we're up to the Allegheny. This thing, as you can see, I had a heck of a time getting it in the picture. I really had a hard time getting this thing in the picture. This thing is absolutely massive. Now, granted, the big boys are bigger. This thing, this is just half of the locomotive. I believe it's a 6664. I think is the wheel arrangement on this thing. This thing is just absolutely imagine. I mean, this thing is just unbelievable to be standing next to. Like I said, I've been next to the big boy up in Steamtown, and trust me, there isn't a whole lot that you're sitting there and you what? Holy moly! This thing. Okay, there you go. It's a two. I had the wheel arrangement backwards. Thank you, My Life's Tracks. I appreciate that for correcting me. I had it backwards. That's true, Fred. That is very true. The only thing is the longer that they're outside, the more damage gets done to them. So, you know, it's a weird Steamtown. I don't know. This guy named Sparky had a meet and greet up there in 2019. That's where met a lot of this mess. Anyway, of course, the next, hey, Happy Valley Hobbies, welcome in. I had to get a picture of an ugly duckling. You know, had to get a picture of number 81, Western Maryland's one of Western Maryland's BL2s. Um, so I had to get a picture of that. This is unique. This is I think I've got a picture of it. It's a 1937 Buick that's been turned into a rail inspection car. This was actually used by the Maryland and Pennsylvania Railroad. Can you imagine riding the rails on this thing? Hey, Artie. Sorry, bud. I saw. I'm standing here, sitting here talking. I did see you pop in. I'm sorry. I'm just yep. Anyway, I can't imagine riding the rails on a Buick. So, hey, White Wall Wheels is in the house. Let's see. So the next picture, that's just the back. Yeah, that's just the trunk area, and I mean, this thing, getaway car for whatever. I don't think you'd get very far with this one, Artie. It's definitely a gangster mobile, though. I think that was no. And then we got the Jersey Central line. This here was one of the first diesel electrics. I forgot what the actual nomenclature was for this thing, but this was their first diesel electric. And I believe I'm going to go ahead and pull up my pictures here a minute, because I believe that wasn't it. Okay, I've got quite a few more. I forgot. I know where this ends. This ends with that other ugly duckling locomotive. All right, let me get off of that. Let me get back over to this. There we go. Yeah, the Bonnie and Clyde car. Something like that. All right, so let's keep moving. Now, the B&O Railroad Museum, they actually had a model railroad in one of the passenger cars. And this is a replica of part of Camden Yards. This was the warehouse. So for those that have followed the channel for a while, you know that one of the things that I've been talking about possibly doing, hey, welcome in there, Heath, is going ahead and doing a replica of Camden Yards. Now, obviously, the one that I would do wouldn't be quite this tall, because I don't want to block the city view, so mine would be a little bit shorter, but this gives me an idea as to what it's going to look like. The funny thing of it is later on, Heath actually found there was another railroad inside, model railroad inside, that Bank of America had actually helped sponsor. And that one there actually had an even bigger model of the B&O or of Camden Yards. And I thought that I just saw Steeler fan 820 pop in. Welcome in, Frank. Yeah, how come this would have been long before that, Split Rock? Long before. You know, I wonder why, Rick. Oh, man. So anyway, Because of the fact that I'm a fan of the Maryland and Pennsylvania, I actually had to get a picture of that. That's obviously an early GP unit. So I had to get a picture of that guy. They had a model of 490 on this layout, which was really neat to see. I'm not sure whoever produced that, but that was neat. And then this one up front, this is the Royal Blue. I know that Mantua actually had made a model of that years and years and years ago. I believe that they're getting harder and harder to find. Kyle Stevens, Ray, don't they have a model of the Point of Rock Station on there? If you're talking about this one, I don't know if they did. I'd have to look. This was mainly the Baltimore and Ohio. I don't think that this one had anything from the Maryland and Pennsylvania other than the locomotive, and then they also had this little guy, which was actually in. Brady, did they invite you to donate to your layout? Don't I wish, Derek? Don't I wish? They had this one here from the Baltimore and Annapolis Railroad. That was another one of those short lines that we had down here. But, and of course, a little bit later, you go out on the excursion train, and what do you see? Baltimore and Annapolis Railway number 50, which is the same one that they had on that railroad, which was kind of cool. I just was getting pictures of some of the buildings off in the distance. This here is where they did a lot of the locomotive maintenance during, believe it or not, but during the Civil War. They had a lot of the locomotives and things that were inside this building. Well, it used to be a building. It isn't anymore. It's just all concrete and such. And hey, look, there's 4876. I have been to Camden Yards a couple of times. Neat GE 44 tonner. I don't think there was a 44 tonner in here yet. I have a couple of times. I'm not into sports, so I don't go to the games. Yeah, this one here I think is beyond restoration. I'm not 100% certain. They actually at one point in time down at the museum had 3 or 4 GG1s. One of them was Blackjack, and that was 15 some odd years ago. And they had actually used parts off the 3 that they had in the back lot to kind of get that one back up to where they could do cosmetic restoration on it. I don't know what happened to the other 2 that were back here, but this is the only one that was left. There was a pit barbecue place not too far from the museum. I hope it's still there. Huh, I didn't know that. I don't get downtown, and I don't like being downtown. Did Tim or AJ weather that? I think it had something to do with MN, Mother Nature. Oh, partially, anyways. This here is a Baltimore and Ohio box cab. It's actually an electric locomotive. That I think they use these for interurban for a bit. This is CE1. Let's see. The next picture was 592. This is actually a Central Railroad of New Jersey Camelback. I believe that this was a 444 or something of that nature, somewhere along those lines. Of course, I had to get pictures of the converted stagecoaches that were used for rail serve. And, of course, then the Lafayette. This was unique. I don't think I've ever seen a setup like that before, where the piston's at an angle, except for on the climaxes. Normally normally that rod is dead straight. This one here was at an angle. Interesting locomotive. Camelback steamer for when for when the fireman and engineer didn't like each other. That's nice. Yes, Heath, you missed it. I already showed the gangster car. This here was, I didn't realize that the Baltimore and Ohio actually had this lively of a paint scheme on a locomotive that old. You know, you always think of some of the early locomotives that they were just basically black. This one here actually had some color to it. I think this was an old wood burner too. Looking at the stack, most of the stacks on the wood burner were those funnel shapes. There is an interesting locomotive coming up, and there it is. This is weird. This is what they called a camel, not a camelback, a camel. I had never seen this locomotive before. Never seen this locomotive before. I don't know if that other one was the General Split Rocket. Possibly could have been. This one here is this is a weird, this was a really weird locomotive. Let me go back a picture. Literally, the cabin all sat on top of the boiler. Like I said, I had never seen anything like this before. Never. And I don't ever remember this being down at the museum. They had to have this thing in the back shop someplace. I mean, this thing was just weird. And of course, if you look at the little blurb that was reading this earlier, they said that there was the crew had absolutely no survivability. If something went wrong, they were basically done. And not only that, but because it was on top of the boiler, they got hot. I mean, hot. Let's commission the That's not a bad idea, Split Rock. That's not a bad idea. Oh, but like I said, I was like, I don't think I've ever seen anything like that before. That was just, not to mention the fact that the guy that had to shovel the coal, the fireman, he's not even next to the engineer. You know, he's back in the back there. I mean, it's like he's down here. And yeah, you're right. You could cook dinner while you're away, while you're running the locomotive. I think I got Ron Montague in the picture in the back there. Fred Wild, that locomotive would be good in the San Diego, Minnesota winters. Yeah, not too good when you're in the South. 100-degree heat with 100% humidity. Yeah, I don't think I want to be inside that cab. Oh man, so I want to find some more information on that thing. Here it is. I took a picture of the placard for the clearance car. Forgot to go ahead and actually take a picture of the clearance car. This is another picture this was off the Bank of America museum model railroad, and this is another picture of Camden Yards, the warehouse. So I've got a couple different ideas. And of course, this one here, they actually modeled the ballpark instead of the rail yard. If that blew up, you'd have the first rail crew in space. Yeah, pretty much. I'll never have to pay for a sauna again. Oh my gosh. PK&W Model Works, welcome in. Oh man. Yeah, Derek, that ball field, I mean, they for what it is, they did a great job. They really did a nice job with that. I don't know if it's actually the scale, but you know, the warehouse is still there, Fred. The warehouse is actually a part of the right field side. On the actual ball field, if you look out where the flag court is here, I'm sitting here pointing to it with the mouse, but that warehouse still sits behind sits behind the ballpark. They kept it. It's now the offices for, I think, both the Baltimore Orioles and the Baltimore Ravens. The first floor, the actual warehouse floor, I would say, is a lot of shops and eateries and things of that nature. This would be, I don't know. I mean, I guess it is the Baltimore Orioles and somebody. I don't know who they're playing. I couldn't tell. It's too small. Yeah, must say, even as a non-sports fan, that ballpark is very cool. It is very cool. So, this here is a famous tower that sits in downtown Baltimore. Years ago, there was a Blue Jays. Years ago, there was a company that made antacids, and that company was based in Baltimore. They called themselves Bromo Seltzer. And the main ingredient in Bromo Seltzer was bromide. That's where they got the name from. And this was their corporate tower downtown, and the clock used to spell Bromo Seltzer. I don't know if it still does or not. It's been a while since I've actually seen the tower. Here we go with the who's on first, what's on second thing. New York Yankee. No, not the Yankees. Oh boy. They did this here is actually what would be, I guess, the rail side of Penn Station. Heath might be able to go ahead and actually talk about that because he actually came into the station. Wait a minute. I'm going to see if anybody knows what position this one was. See if anybody remembers what position I don't give a damn was. I'm going to watch the chat now for a few minutes while for those for that aren't in the area, if you know, hey, Heath remembered. Heath got it. I don't give a damn was the shortstop. Heath was the first one to get it, folks. If you're familiar with horse racing, and I'm sure a lot of us aren't, but Pimlico, Maryland, is where the second leg of the Triple Crown is for horse racing. The only reason why I know that is because of the fact that we have to deal with all the traffic when Pimlico is running when Pimlico is running the second leg of the Triple Crown. So if you follow that, it's the Kentucky Derby, it's the Pimlico, and then you've got the Belmont. Anywho, so they got this. And this is one of the famous churches in Baltimore. This was the Cathedral Mary Our Queen. It's just a very ornate church from the front. They did a really good job of modeling this as well. I don't know who did these. Are they using old chariots? No, they don't use chariots. Oh no. So I just want to make sure that I don't go too far on the pictures. Nope, I got a couple more. All right. Sorry, folks. So that's Cathedral Mary Our Queen. They did a mock-up of the USS Constellation, otherwise known as Old Ironsides. One of two frigates from the original, or from from back in the Revolution that actually still exist. The Constellation, which is the oldest commissioned ship in the United States Navy, sits up in Boston Harbor. Take it easy, Ken. We'll see you, buddy. Wouldn't that be? Oh boy, PK and W. We were. This is pictures from last weekend. From the Timonium Train Show and the B&O Railroad Museum. These are specifically down at the B&O Railroad Museum. This is a GP40 that's sitting outside right now. What was neat, really, with it was the boxcars that were the boxcar that was sitting behind it with the rounded top. Those are Constitution. Yes, thank you. Constitution, Constellation. Yeah, who's on first? What's on second? Yeah, I'm telling you, it's been a long day. And then they had an RDC that's sitting down there. And then I think the last picture is this thing. And Heath, Heath, and Ron were trying to figure out what the heck this thing was. I have no idea what this thing is. Oh. I wonder. I was thinking that this was an old Baldwin locomotive. Fairbanks Morris switcher. Okay, Split Rock. No, I didn't get a picture of the American Freedom Train. There just was no room to take pictures of that thing. I mean, they have got that thing in there. They have got that thing stuffed back there. H1244. I thought that's what it may have been. Oh, somebody else said it's an H16, H4416, or an H1644. Okay, so it's either an H12 or an H16. Only thing I know is it just how the heck do you, obviously even with the diesels nowadays, it was like, how the heck do you see around the nose? You know, I mean, you got no visibility. H4416. Okay. X Milwaukee Road. Oh, and he said, according to the internet, they're saying it at H1244. All right. So it looks like we've got our winner. Still better than any steam engine at that time. Hey, welcome in, Ron. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm just looking at it going, what is this thing? So that's all I had from the slideshow. Blink. Need to count the rivets. Laugh out loud. Okay. All right, let me get this back over here so I can see what's going on. Hey. Just got off work. Yeah. I got to do that tomorrow. I got to go back to work tomorrow. Let's see. Milwaukee Road had a lot of those. Okay. And we're saying it's an H1244. Okay. All right. I'll have to remember that at H1244. Yes, it is. Yes, it is, and that's still the 665s. I actually went to the store today, and I was going to get newer or get some more bulbs, and they didn't have any more of the 665s. And the next ones up were like 12 and 1300 lumens, and I'm like, yeah, I just think that's going to be too bright. So I didn't get them. I'm going to wait. Yeah, we're still talking trains, Steve. This is a new record for me. Speaking of trains, wait a minute. Let me transition this thing over a second because There's one. All right, there we go. We'll see how well this works out. well, we'll see how long this goes. So yeah, I mean, it would, like I said, getting back to what we were talking about, the last weekend was great. This weekend was great too. I actually got to get over and talk to Joe Rader for a couple hours. Actually, hang out with Joe Rader for a couple hours. So yeah, where the heck is Tom? He's hanging out with his family, I guess. I'm betting they still didn't go home yet. Hello, Steve. You took out the trash, but we're still here. Your screen froze. Stormy Sky is saying his screen froze. Okay, well, yeah. Unfortunately, there ain't a whole lot going on, but you know, I figure we'll let the two trains run around for a bit. Um, Tom was at York yesterday. Nice. Yeah, like I said, unfortunately that just wasn't in the cards. I wasn't going to be able to, yeah, get up there yesterday. I would have loved to, but you know, it just wasn't. It just wasn't in the cards for that. So it is what it is. You know, maybe some other time, but hey, look at that. Happy Valley, we had 11 here. We actually had 11 people at the. I actually had 11 people here at the house. That was a blast, though. I mean, we had an absolute ball. Um, yeah, this one here is pulling old Tyco passenger cars, and one of these days I'll take them off the track and clean the wheels again, so that way they actually stay lit. Yeah, Ron, that's kind of where I was too. It was just too close to the Timonium train show. You know, but yeah, that's get those. Well, the funny thing of it is, Artie, these two, well, the one locomotive I did switch out. Yeah, there were 11 people here and we didn't do any operation. We had the trains running and that was it. It's like I explained in the video that came out Friday. Um, I did, considering the fact that everybody that was here, with the exception of Rodney, was DCC, that there's a little bit of a learning curve to this thing. And, you know, considering the fact that a lot of folks weren't hanging out very long, I wasn't sure how deep we were going to get into it. So I just let the trains run around the layout. I did exactly what I'm doing right now. This one here is controlling one of the trains, and that one's controlling the other one. This one here is actually running the southbound, and this one's running the northbound. Read your operating just you read your operating instructions. And only the two Canadians brought beer. Oh, yes, we did. We did, Steve. We tested your -9 on here, and we found out that I had made a mistake on the one corner. Yep, you know, we found out that I had relayed the track wrong. But that was because of the fact that I hadn't run any of the 6 axles across that particular part of the track. So, you know, as soon as Steve put his -9 on there and we ran it across, we found a problem. To which I went back and I actually fixed it on the fly, which is awfully hard because the flies are really small. You know, it's tough to fix something on a fly. Yeah, eventually I will definitely get some folks. Can somebody post Ron's channel link, please? Absolutely. Give me just 1 second, unless one of the Sidetrack Sunday gang gets to it before I do. Let me go ahead and do that real quick. I'm waiting for it to catch. But yeah, we will definitely. Oh, there we go. Thanks, Heath. Heath and John number 2 got it apparently. Yep, there we go. All right, so both of them. uh, so yeah, I mean, but we had a blast. I mean, if you saw Heath's video, you know, the dysfunctional operations video was great. That was absolutely awesome. Yes, Split Rock, the Kraus Mafia is hiding on the other southbound passenger track. Right now, I've actually got just these 2 passenger trains running the bypass of the passenger terminal, only because of the fact that I've never actually done through runs through the passenger station. It's always been a stop and then another train starts. So running these guys on the freight bypass is where they're running right now, and they seem to work out fairly well there. After an hour, I can pay attention now. Well, welcome in there, Anthony. But yeah, a little bit ago, before I actually turned the camera on over there, the Beethoven was laying on the rug. I don't know if he's still hiding down here or not. Oh, he's behind me. So let's see, what else have we got going on here? Yeah, like I said, it was great to have everybody here and just shooting the breeze. It's when we were up at Steamtown a couple years ago, that was neat, hanging out for the hours that we did. And then Strasburg hanging out at the burn pit as it was really neat too. And then having everybody come over here after the train show was nice too. I mean, it was just being able to hang out and shoot the breeze. And actually, Steve and Alan, they got me looking back into my 3D printer. And in fact, I've actually been emailing with Alan this week, and we actually I went ahead and I fired the thing up, and there's no errors on it, so that's a good thing. I just have to get it permanently hooked back up and then get it wired into my my laptop, or not my laptop, my desktop over there. That's the dispatcher station. But yeah, Split Rock, I only spent $70 at the show. I didn't go broke, but that basically was pretty much the budget. If you don't go with a budget, you will go broke. And Joe Rader is saying, at least your dogs leave the guests alone. Joe, Anthony from the Georgia Sun Belt would beg to differ. The whole time he was here, Beethoven was giving him a fit. Yeah, literally, Heath's right. I spent $70 in the first 5 minutes of the show. And I was actually going to run those passenger cars tonight, but my my PA1's having a problem, so I'm going to have to go back and take a look at that. I'm going to have to go back and take a look and see if I can figure out why that's not. No. You know what it is, Anthony? Here's the thing. When my mother-in-law comes over, he's the same way with her. He will not leave her alone for like the first, 30 minutes. It's because of the fact that it's somebody that he recognizes. And because you have been here, you were here last year, and then you were here a couple weeks ago with Dave from the Crooked River and Eastern. I think that's the reason why he wanted your attention, because he knew you. You have to remember, he's 12 years old. So he gets something in his head and he's just stuck with it. So it is what it is. Yeah, it was just so funny. He would not leave Anthony alone. Right, Bug? Beethoven's? What you doing, bud? What you doing? He says, I'm sleeping. Leave me alone. Yeah, there he is. There's one of the track inspectors. As I make everybody sick. Oh, man. Take it easy, PK and W. We'll talk to you, Bob. Oh, man. I don't know about that one, Artie. I don't know about that. I got 7 passenger cars is what I got. Split Rock. I got that's the 7 passenger cars that I showed in the video Friday, and I just got finished working on them this afternoon. Take it easy, Bob. They only get a good feed when visitors turn up. No, no. Oh, no. Heath will tell you these dogs are spoiled. he, he will tell you that they're spoiled. Oh, man. Yeah, I know that Anthony spent some money. I know that Anthony was gobbling some stuff up. I'm not going to spoil any surprises there because he got some nice stuff. I know some of what he picked up. That CB car looks like the New York City cars. That's odd. Okay. Not sure what we're talking about there. Oh, I know what we're talking about. We're talking about those, the cars that Heath picked up. Yeah. Yeah, I think you may have actually gotten across the Canadian border too, Artie. Last respiratory infection. Oh boy. Oh man. Take it easy, trackside Mike. We'll see you. I did hear the kid that Artie's in Canada. Kidnapped in the hell. Got the ransom note last night. Oh man. Oh goodness gracious. Anyway, so like I said, I see trackside Mike's leaving. So yeah, hopefully everybody gets a chance to take a look at all the videos that everybody put out. I know that Dak Sean from Dakman Productions took a few videos. I know Tom Strange and Things has been putting up all sorts of videos. I know Heath did a live stream from the show. He did one from my house. I know he took a ton of pictures. I know Ron took some pictures. So if you hadn't subscribed, go back and watch the the Friday episode that I put up. There are links to everybody that I had talked to, and I actually found out, and I'm not sure if he's lurking tonight or not, but Ted Heinball, who is another local model railroader, I didn't realize he actually does have a YouTube channel, although he doesn't have any content up. Um, I'm gonna have to talk to him about that. Excuse me. I'm gonna talk to him about that and see if we can't get him to take some pictures of his Western Maryland Railroad. He's got a neat setup. He's also an avid follower. If any of you in here are familiar with the old Virginian and Ohio, or the V&O, which Alan McClellan did, he's collected quite a bit of their stuff. So he's actually got a few of their cars too. He actually gave me a shout out earlier, or actually I shouted him out Friday, and then he turned around and shouted me out today. So it was kind of nice. Him and I are going to have to catch up, because I'd love to see his his layout in person too. From what I've seen of the videos, it's nice. And Sparky got a live stream of the plumber getting scanned. Take it easy, John. We'll see you. You and I got to catch up one of these times too. Heath, you missed it. I was talking about that earlier. I was actually over there today. Or not today, yesterday. I actually caught up with Joe Rader yesterday, and Joe Rader came over here yesterday. So I went and stopped at his house. I was there for about an hour and a half, and he came over here for about an hour and a half. So, yep. Heath, the 500 subscriber contest, I'm gonna start doing eliminations each Friday, leading up to my live stream on the 27th of November. I got to go back and actually figure out how many people did go ahead and sign up for it. I think it was like 62, so I think I've got like 3 or 4 Fridays before I would actually do the final drawing. So what's going to happen is each Friday I'll eliminate like 20 people off of out of the contest, and then on the live stream on the 27th, we'll be down to the final 10 or 12, and we'll go ahead and we'll start eliminating from there. Figure out who's going to end up in 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st. So things finally have settled down for that. I think I've got everything together for that. I thought I had everything together for it a while back, and then some things, came up and so on and so forth. And between work and some other things just got out of hand. So it is what it is. Don't worry, folks. What went on didn't have anything to do with that, because, like I've said before, anything that came in went into the railroad technology fund, but that didn't get touched. But like I said, it's just been nuts. Anyway, Tom's Trains and Things makes it in as we're getting ready to shut things down. Oh, man. Oh, that's right. Yeah, James is doing a live stream on Mondays now. I think before Tom goes live, we are all here. What? Oh yeah, that's right. Sparky was trying to see who all was in the who all from the show was in the chat. And I think everybody who was at the show finally made it in. Well, actually, John Foltz hasn't been here, but it's yes, off track Mondays. And again, folks, I really do apologize to those folks that have had live streams or even videos go up. I have not been able to get into a lot of the live streams, and I have not been able to watch a lot of the videos. I have just been bogged down between personal stuff, and of course, the train show was last weekend and some other things. So, can we buy the 3D printed STS crew as a set? Well, the only one that got scanned out of us, I think, the two of us was Rick and Heath. Well, Rick was here, Ron, for a little bit. Rick was here for a little bit. I don't know if he's still here or not. And Rodney wasn't here. Yep. So let's see. Is there anything else going on, and where are my trains? I hear them running, but I don't see them. I need more cameras. I need to set up like Opa Dodge. I don't think this machine can handle it. I think it's barely handling what I got going through it now. Yeah, I hear the trains running. I just don't saw. Here comes one. Here comes the northbound. He's going through the S's. No, I didn't get scanned. I think there was a weight limit on the turntable. uh, yeah, if I would have gotten on there, it would have said only one person at a time. uh, no, the Steve and Sparky are talking about a possible meet. Oh goodness! But yeah, we had we really had a great time. We really did, and I can't wait to do that again. To get together with the guys and hang out. Thanks, Roy. Jeez. Oh my goodness. Friends like this, I don't need enemies. Holy moly. Oh goodness. Anyway. Hey, Steve Plumber, did they ever get the Prince William modular layout running on Sunday? I know you guys were having issues on Saturday. Hey, there's Rodney. Got a flood Glow the Plumber. Amherst next, and after that, March is Nathan DeLay's meet and greet at Northlands. Oh boy. Any ideas to what that date is, Dave? For Northlands? Ray, look up. That was kind of a question. Okay. Amherst is the last weekend in January. I got that one. Northlands is March 11th. I'm not going to make that. There's something about a better half's birthday being on March 11th, and then my daughter's birthday is March the 12th. So yeah, that weekend is out of the question. Oh, nice, nice. Hey, I know you guys were fighting with it. I knew you guys were fighting on that one, so good. I'm glad they got it straightened out. You might want to do a tutorial on how to run a DC layout before inviting all the DCC guys over. Yeah. Yeah. Probably going to have to do that. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to make Amherst either. Unfortunately, not this. Actually, I know I won't because I've got something else going on that week or the weekend. What's DC? It's a place down in between Virginia and Maryland. Oh no, that's the wrong DC. I'm sorry. I didn't say that. DC is what this layout is actually running on. Power plunger. Oh boy. Yeah. Or the power snake. Bowling has been canned. No. Nope. Sorry, Artie. This got nothing to do. It got nothing to do with bowling. And see, that's the thing. Everybody has to try and get here between May and August. uh, that way I don't have anything to do with bowling. Oh my gosh. Double check. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I know May's Colorado, and I'm probably not going to make that one either. Oh boy. Anyway, well, you know what? I'm going to stop these guys. Because they've been running for a while. Let's see. We'll transition this thing back and look at my ugly mug. I thought it was Sparky on the bike that powered the layout. Yeah, no. Everyone kept pushing the F to ring the bell that wasn't there. Bing! Bong, bong. Yeah. May 18th to the 21st is, or 22nd. Yeah. Well, that's the same weekend as the bowling banquet. So that's another reason why I wouldn't be able to make it. But I've got a big trip coming up the end of January, the first part of February. So that's the reason why I'm not going to be going anywhere out of state. I have a whole new perspective on the review after being in the basement. You know, it's funny because even Joe said the same thing. This thing is this layout is much bigger in person than what it is on the on video. So, no, Artie, we ain't doing that crap again. May is the heart of boating season. Yeah, I remember those days. I got rid of mine. Break out another 1,000. Oh, man. 18th is the unofficial start of the meet and greet. Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah, not sure exactly what all is going to go on for next year. So, other than the fact, like I said, I've got I've got a fairly large trip that's coming up the end of January. So, yeah, yep, it's a lot of track. Yeah, it's. Uh, let's see. Um, I added this up once before, but I don't remember off the top of my head. Is it up there? Uh, 34 plus 34 plus 5.5 plus 8. Roughly 82 feet of track is the main lines. Roughly 82 feet. It's probably closer to 100. They're probably closer to 95, closer to 90 feet. Um, for the two main lines, and then of course, then you've got um, you got the passenger tracks that are underneath the city, which you're. Let me transition this thing back over real quick. The lower right side, right below me here, that's looking under the station. I can do that. I should have moved that camera a little bit. Um, but yeah, there's about 90 feet of track underneath of this thing, or on top of this thing, not underneath. Eesh. On top, there's about 90 feet. I don't think it's a mile. Oh man. Yeah, I know your Helix has got probably a lot more. Your Helix alone probably has more than what this has on it. Yeah, 300 feet just in the Helix. Yeah, but you got 3 levels, Sparky. I've got one. And Joe is saying that I've got more than that. Well, yeah, I only counted one time around. So yeah, if you double that, yeah, it's probably closer to 200 feet. It's probably closer to 200 feet if you wanted to, since it's a double main line. And then of course there's another 25 feet for the interurban up on top, which isn't presently running. I got to work on that some more. I had to do one of I think the next video that I do, if not this one coming up because I've got stuff already in the works, but the next one I'll start again back on the south end of the layout, south end of the city, um, and talk about what went on down there. My apartment might be the same square footage as your basement, or as your as your layout. Oh, yeah, 34 feet by 8 feet. No, I'm not building a second level, Sparky. I'm having enough. I have enough enough with this one. If anything, there's going to be expansion done to this, but that ain't going to happen anytime soon. Yeah, if I put a third level on this, Heath, I'd be on the second floor. I'd be up on the first floor. And I don't think the wife would go for that. Laugh out loud, Derek. That was good. Heath's room's a helix without an elevation change. Yeah. uh, now we're talking about the differences in train prices between between airline and train. Yeah. Yeah, Artie's going to have a tropical rainforest. Oh, man. Audio went out. I don't think my audio went out. I think my audio is still going. As far as I know, it is. That's what I thought. Okay. All right. Well, it doesn't matter. I've only got a couple more minutes here, and I'm going to be shutting this down. Ah, yeah, you did. Okay. I've had that happen. Oh, anywho. So just a heads up that Rick the Tree, the Folds Bailey Model Railroad, should be running Sidetrack Sunday next week. Um, and then the week after that will be John from the Schuylkill River Valley. And then we'll be going on from there. It'll be Heath, and then I'm guessing it'll be Jason. I know he's had a lot going on with Aaron, so mainly with the Scouts. What is Rick doing for Halloween? I guarantee he's not dressing up as a tree. He'll be pining for the fjords. My apartment is 20 by 20 and the B&N is 34 by 8. Well, there you go. What are you talking about? Go till 10. You know what, Derek? I wish I could. I just can't. I mean, I haven't been sleeping right for probably close to 2-3 weeks now. So I got to try and get some sleep. I also got a meeting with the boss in the morning. So not the boss, but my boss, the work boss, not the home boss, the work boss. So I want to make sure I'm somewhat awake for that. A giant pumpkin. Oh boy. Uh-huh. Steve is saying that he's going to do an HO layout with an N scale loop on top. When you all see the scan of Rick, you're going to love it. Yeah, it was a blast. Yeah, I saw the pictures of that when that Sparky. It's great. Yeah, the Sidetrack Sunday is actually the 30th, so it's the day before. So get those get those cars running over your 18-inch curves. uh, New photo of Rick in the STS chat. No, not no. I've got a meeting with my boss. Not never mind. No container man. Well, no. You know what? I'm not gonna go there. I'll let you all see what happens. Oh my gosh. Yeah, yeah. You all are gonna love what the scan looks like. That is freaking awesome. Johnny's train videos. Welcome in. Sorry you missed the fun. We're about ready to call tonight. I don't know. I got to go over here to do that, apparently. My goodness. Hey, I've got a question for those that are in the chat. Has anybody seen anything from Dave down at Carolina Foothills? I haven't seen anything from him in a while. Why was I the only one wearing shorts? Oh, gee, here we go. We're not going to talk about Tom and his Daisy Dukes. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard there. Welcome aboard there, Mark. How you been, bud? Sorry, I had to pick on Tom for a minute. uh, you know how it is. Oh goodness. I'm trying to find. There it is. Let's go over here. I'm just looking at something real quick because it's I'm having a senior moment. Nice. Okay, I was subbed. Okay. All right. Sweet. I was just making sure I was subbed to Johnny there before I forgot it. Well, no, Mark, it was a great show. I mean, it was a lot of fun. Um, went over what happened last weekend and went over some more pictures. And like I said, unfortunately, I've got to go ahead and call it a night. Go back and watch the replay when it comes out tomorrow morning or tomorrow. So, like I said, folks, John over at Schuylkill, or I'm sorry, Rick over at the Foltz Valley has got next week. And then John over at Schuylkill has the week after that. And then Heath has the week after that. And then we'll figure out if Jason's going to be able to, be able to run his. And then I'll have the last of the month of November, which that will be the 500 sub contest. So, and with that, I am going to call it a night, folks. You all know the deal. Wait for the high ball. Green tracks ahead. We'll catch you all next time. Be safe. God bless, folks. We'll see you.